I was watching your clock and it seemed to indicate we had more time.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Writing Sprint Thursdays. I'm your host, Hank Garner, as every Thursday. And today, my guest host is Chris Porteau. You might remember Chris from an episode of the podcast last week where Chris and Nick Cole came on to talk about their new book, Mercenaries of Atlantis. One of my favorite books of the year. I know it will be one of yours as well. And Chris joined us today for writing sprints, and we're going to talk a little bit about writing in between our sprints. We started our 60-day writing challenge yesterday, so I have a new book that I'm going to start whittling on, and I have a cheeky title that I'm just kind of a placeholder title called Murder Town.
Wait, are there hobos there?
There more than likely are hobos.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but you are working on some edits, aren't you? For
Yeah,
book
yeah.
two
I'm
of
working. Yeah, I'm working on the edits to the second book in the Mercenaries of Atlantis series. The
fun.
editor to the stars, David Gatewood, sent me edits back about a week ago. So I've been slowly slogging through the swamp of his comments,
Yeah.
which every single one of them is like a genius find and correction. So I make fun of David, but he is the best editor I've ever seen. So I'm actually enjoying engaging with edits, which is not something most writers would say.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going through a little bit of that at the moment, and it's a usually an exercise in frustration and self-doubt. But that's another conversation for another time. I just reposted the link to sprint number 1 in the chat if anybody's looking for it. Welcome everyone who's joining us. I see a lot of new faces, and I hope that you're getting some amazing writing done today. What were you about to say, Chris? I'm sorry.
No, nothing. I'm trying to position my shirt, but I can't tell if you can read it or if it's backwards to you too. I don't
No,
understand.
it's not backwards to me. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
Love
It's
it.
a Python. It's a Python shirt. It's from Spamalot from Holy Grail.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love it. Love it. Yeah, StreamYard is weird. It shows your screen reversed to you, but not to the rest of the. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't pretend to understand it. We just roll with it. But
That's okay.
yeah,
I am right-handed, in case it matters.
ah, same, same. So, all right, we've got 50 seconds or so. We're going to do the first sprint, 20 minutes. I posted the link a couple of times there. I posted a link to a Spotify playlist that I'll be writing with today, the Lo-Fi Creative Writing playlist. I've posted a couple times here before. It's kind of fun. Chris, are you still of the mind that you need absolute silence to write?
Not silence, but I was gonna a comment to what you just stated.
Yeah.
I can't write when there's music playing that has lyrics because I start, especially if I know, because then I start singing along in my head. And I'm like, I can't write. I have multiple personalities, but they can't do those two things at the same time.
Understand. Understand. All right, folks. 20 minutes is about to start. We'll see you in 20 minutes and we'll see how we do. All right, everybody. That was the end of sprint number one. I got about 468 words, my Dabble project is saying. Just trying to kind of hammer out some story ideas as I'm kind of creating a loose outline here. How's your editing going there, Chris?
Uh, Going great.
That's good.
Sorry. That's all the answer I got. They're going good.
Now that you're editing book 2 in the series, are your edits a little more? I know you've worked with Gatewood in the past, but
Mm-hmm.
as you get to book 2 in the series, do the edits become more honed, targeted? Um, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I think we're getting used to each other, and the series itself has a certain familiarity to both of us, right? So I know, this word is. I was going to say this word is capped and that word isn't. Well, but I mean, certain phrases or certain terms that we've agreed on stylistically in book one.
yeah,
Now he doesn't have to correct or make consistent those terms. So it's
yeah,
it's it's easier, and he's used to my voice and my rhythm and all of that stuff. So he has less that he stumbles over because he's used to it. So yeah, I think book two is going more smoothly than book one, thanks to familiarity.
nice. And you this book 2 is you guys are planning on a late spring, early summer of next year
Probably,
release.
I would guess sometime early summer, because it has to. It's not just the book itself, which should be ready, but it has to be coordinated with Audible and the narrator for the
Mm,
audiobook, because they want to
yeah,
simultaneously release. So yeah, it probably early summer is kind of the last thing I heard from them.
gotcha. Everybody, I just posted the link to sprint number 2 in the chat. We'll be starting that up in just under 3 minutes. Hope your writing is going well. I'm seeing good numbers from everybody in the chat. Congratulations. Like I mentioned earlier, we started our 60-day writing challenge at dabbleu.com yesterday. Be sure to go over. Plenty of time to sign up. If you follow the old NaNoWriMo paradigm. We know that Nano doesn't exist anymore, but November has always been National Novel Writing Month, and we want to kind of continue that spirit. And October is kind of a preptober, version of that. Get ready to write the book. So join us over there. We've got lots of great content for that. We're doing short videos every day. I think Abby's was yesterday. Mine posted today. We should have one from Doug tomorrow. Yeah, lots of stuff going on there. So be sure to join up. We've got just under 2 minutes. Chris, when will you start book 3? Since these edits are going.
Look, man, don't get on my case already. Good God. I need a vacation, man. No, as soon as I get through, because it'll go out of my head otherwise.
Yeah.
As soon as I get through with the edits on book 2, I'm going to start working on the outline for book 3. As we talked in the podcast the other day, Nick gave me this incredibly detailed and rich outline for what was ostensibly book 1. Well, I used about a third of it for book 1. I've used elements of it for book 2. So I'm going to kind of look at what's left and try to incorporate those into my outline for book 3. I anticipate 2 to 4 weeks of outlining. That may sound like a lot. I don't know. But I work best from an outline. If you just put a blank page and a cursor blinking in front of me, I might as well be a deer in the headlights. So, I need a plan, and
Yeah.
I need scenes kind of mapped out, not to the nth degree, but 750 words. He walks into the room, the patrons look at him funny, and a bar fight starts. I need something,
Yeah.
to get me going, and then I can go from there. So I want to do a really detailed outline for book 3, at least, and I kind of phase it. This might be interesting to your listeners. I know we're winding
Yeah.
down here, but detailed in the first third, less detail in the second third, some goals and places I want to hit, beats I want to hit in the third, because as everybody knows, the book evolves. So you
Right.
can't write the last scene before you start.
My short video that I posted today is all about how pantsers can benefit from a little bit of planning, and I'm a recovering pantser, and so we could talk a little bit about that in the next break. But you know, it never hurts to at least know where you're going, and
Hmm.
use the metaphor of the road trip, like from
Hmm.
the West Coast to the East Coast of America. There's many different ways you can get there, but kind of highlighting some points along the way. And then what happens between those points is up to you. You still have the freedom of a pantser while kind of knowing where you're going. So
Right.
at least I like to think about it. Anyway, we'll talk more in 20 minutes. All right. How did it go, everyone? I had a pretty good session there. Trying to unravel some mysteries. Chris, around it was before COVID, just before, I believe, you published a book called ORP, Optional Retirement Plan.
2019, I think.
I think, yeah, it was around then. That had a bit of a mystery thriller. It kind of reminded me of a cyberpunk take on a kind of a gumshoe mystery
Yeah,
ish.
it's sort of a detective noir, but
Yeah,
from the mob enforcer side. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've decided that for this challenge, I'm gonna write a small town mystery that I've threatened to for years and years and just never had the time or opportunity to. And thinking through all of the suspects and then misdirection ahead of time, is something that I've never taken the time to. Did Were there any things when you were writing ORP specifically that helped you to kind of think through um, all of the twists and turns and or like how do you approach, like, because the Atlantis books are one thing, and but the kind of gumshoe mystery where there's a lot of misdirection and the thriller of jerking the rug out from under people, that's kind of a different way of conceptualizing story.
Yeah, well, the thing was, it was less of a mystery. Just really briefly, they conceived this mob enforcer from the future is developing Alzheimer's and is going to be retired by the Godfather type character in the book,
Right.
and he decides, screw this, I'm not gonna go out on your terms. I'm gonna go out on my terms.
Yeah.
So it was less mystery, like, okay, there was a murder and who done it and what were the
Right.
clues left behind, and more of just sort of uh, actually more of a pantser plot. I knew my character, I knew the world, I knew sort of what was that he was going to run, and more importantly, I just turned 50 or so. I was right around 50, and he was having early onset dementia, and so I wanted him to best all of these younger assassins that were coming after him because I was feeling my age and screw you kind of thing.
Yeah,
Uh, so,
I have reading glasses hidden in every room of the house just in
yeah,
case, early
I do.
onset.
I do too. I just hide them on my face 24/7.
Right.
So to answer your question, I mean,
Yeah.
that was more of a pantser plot, which is
Yeah.
for me unusual, as we discussed in the last segment. Because I just I knew he was going to run from Earth to Mars, and so it was sort of that chase. It was a novel length chase scene essentially.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Have you written anything that you had to really consider the plot ahead of time? Like to really map out the twists and turns.
Yeah, I wrote a trilogy for Athon Books called War for Empire. This was over
Yeah.
the last 4 or 5 years, and I knew my main characters. And what I like to do is write a world document or universe document, however you look at it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's what's going on. Here's what man is. Here's what's going on in that case. It was in the stars. Uh, and here are my main characters that I want to develop. And by the end, by book three, I want this happening. And so I kind of have that very broad canvas in the back of my head, but with specific characters, because everything about for me is about character. It's not about action. It's not about plot. It's not about making some statement. It's not about this. It's about what do you do with these people when you drop them in this particular world. So I usually have something in the back of my head, and I
Yeah.
have something on paper that guides me when I'm like, wait a minute, was there a war 20 years? Oh yeah, okay, it was a war 20 years ago. That's right, that's right. Because I mean, it takes me a year to write a book, which is kind
Yeah.
of unheard of these days, but screw it, that's what I do. So
Yeah.
it just takes a while, and so I like to have things because I forget things, especially the older I get. So I just like to have sort of like my mom used to make clothes, used to
Right.
sewing machine clothes, right?
Yeah.
And she'd go to like Joann's or something and buy a pattern and put it down and cut the,
Yeah.
cut the cloth out and all that. And that's kind of the way I think of my outlining. It's not too detailed, but it's
Yeah.
detailed enough that I've got a pretty decent sandbox to play in.
Yeah. And this is, it's a new way of thinking about story for me that, because if I'm like the couple of sci-fi trilogies that I've written for Athon that are about to come out, that those are thinking about those types of stories, and even the big overarching trilogy is one thing. Thinking about misdirection and sending the reader one way while you know taking them somewhere when it's really over here, that's a whole different way of thinking about stories. So anyway,
Yeah.
so anyway, all right. I posted the link for sprint number 3. We're gonna get this final 20-minute sprint in. I hope you guys are doing well. We'll catch up after this, and thanks for joining us, everybody. Dum, 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 dum. All right, everybody. That's our 3 sprints for today. And thank you for all the comments when I forgot to mute my mic and I was just bebopping along with my soundtrack. That was free, by the way. There's no charge for that. So,
Yeah, there really shouldn't be. No.
Right. Well, looking back over our 3 sprints, it looks like as a group, we wrote about 15,000 words. So that's, that's several chapters, depending on how you break it down. So congratulations to everybody. I hope you had a good time riding along with us. It was so good to see all of our usual sprinters with us and a lot of new people. So welcome in. Chris, thanks for hosting with me today and, just chatting a little bit between.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, everybody be sure to pick up Chris's new book, Mercenaries of Atlantis, book 1. It's in Kindle Unlimited if you're a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, and you can grab a copy of that for the price that you're already paying for Kindle Unlimited. If you are an Audible user, I highly recommend you grab the audiobook. That is an exceptional experience. And if you have, a credit sitting there waiting to be used, I promise you will not be disappointed with this book. It's such a good read, and I know that you'll love it. And so finishing up edits on book 2, you said, Chris, and then how do you handle the last quarter of the year with holidays and stuff coming up? Do you have any big projects you're going to work on? Do you start recharging the batteries for what you hope to accomplish next year? What do you think?
It's just sort of a never-ending churn for me. I mean, obviously with travel and spending time with family and all that, it's not exactly conducive to deep thoughts and productive keyboards, right?
Yeah.
But I always try to have something going. So, there's probably 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year's where I'm not doing anything. I do let myself recharge. I'm one of these obsessives. I have a hard time. You know what? I think I'll just take the day off. I have a really hard time doing that. So anyway, but I'll get some work done. I'll take some downtime. Life is balance. What's BALANCE? Sean Connery singing in Highlander, right?
Right.
On the standing on the rowboat with Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. Aren't they remaking Highlander?
They are, with Henry Cavill in the Christopher Lambert role. Yeah.
Ooh, that's provocative.
And I saw who was going to be the Kurgan guy too the other day in the news. I can't remember who that was. He's not going to be the Happy Halloween, ladies guy. He's not going to be that guy. But it was somebody that was going to be cool. I can't remember who it was now. It might have been Jeremy Irons or somebody that you wouldn't think of in that role. I can't remember.
Interesting. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We do sprints every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern Time. We'll be back next Tuesday to do it all over again. Be sure to watch for our writing tutorial videos that are dropping every morning for the next 60 days. We've got a new one every day. And join us at dabbleu.com. Create a free account and join us for the 60-day writing challenge. We look forward to seeing you all. Chris, always a pleasure to hang out, do a little writing, chat a little shop. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Do a little dance, make a little love. That's right.
Get down tonight.
Get down tonight.
Bye, everybody.